Welcome back to Science with Shri. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of sensory organs. We all know the five main sensory organs: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, used for sight, hearing, smell, taste, and feeling, respectively. Let's start with the eyes. I've covered the eyes in a previous video, and if you haven't watched that already, you may consider doing so. But I'll go over the main parts and their functions. The cornea is the clear film on top of the eye, and it does a lot of refraction to send the light right onto the retina. Light first passes through the pupil, the small window whose size is regulated by the curtain, iris. Once inside the eye, the light is focused onto the retina by the lens. It falls more specifically on the fovea, where rods and cones turn it into a visual signal sent to the brain. Rods are used for black and white low light vision, while cones are used for color and highly exact images. Some eye pathologies some eye pathologies include myopia or nearsightedness when the eyeball is too long, hyperopia or farsightedness when the eyeball is too short, presbyopia or old vision where the lens loses flexibility with age, Nycta- nyctalopia or night blindness, usually a rod or a vitamin A issue. Astigmatism, which is blurred vision due to irregular cornea shape. Next, the ears. The ears not only help with auditory function but also with balance regulation. The outer ear catches the sound, and the ear canal funnels it. For more information about sound itself, make sure to watch my Waves video. Next, the sound hits the eardrum, vibrating the three smallest bones in our body, the ossicles. In the inner ear, the cochlea handles the actual hearing part. Well, how? Well, the cochlea is filled with fluid. When the vibrations make contact with the fluid, waves occur, and their interaction with the hair cells determines the sound. Amplitude is detected by how much the hair cells bend, while frequency is detected by where they bend. Also in the inner ear, there are the semicircular canals, which detect the rotational acceleration, specifically when you nod or shake your head. The semicircular canals, along with the otolith organs, which detect linear acceleration and gravity, make up the vestibular system or the system for balance. An example of an ear illness is otitis media, or the middle ear infection, which is common in kids. Now, smell. The sense of smell is unique. It doesn't interact with the great gatekeeper of senses, the thalamus. The smell odorants bind to the olfactory nerve receptors and then travel through the cribriform plate directly to the olfactory bulb. Since smell doesn't pass through the thalamus, there's no delay. That is helpful during a fire emergency, for example. It is also the most memorably and emotionally evocative of all the senses. A smell disease, for example, is anosmia, or the total loss of smell. Okay, so after the sense of smell, we have the sense of taste. The tongue is covered in papillae, which contain the infamous taste buds, which recognize the five basic tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami, or savory. Have you ever heard somebody say that your tastes change over time? Well, they literally do. The 2 to 10,000 taste buds an average person has are replaced every 10 to 14 days. Also, there are no specific taste sections on the tongue. That's a very common misconception. An example taste pathology is as follows: dysgeusia, or the distortion of the sense of taste. And finally, the sense of feeling is the conscious experiences relating to things like pain, temperature, and touch. So that concludes our sensory overview. Thank you for watching.